Okay, so today I'm going to be showing you how to remove your clutch carrier, which is back here, and I'm going to be replacing it with this Team Gonads aluminum one. It has Team Fast Steady bearings in there as well, so it's much better. It's not going to heat up or anything, and it's enclosed. Alright, so pretty simple install, so I guess we should get started. So the first step is to remove this, the plastic underbody over here. So it's just one body clip. Just lift it up, pull out, drop down. That's it. Okay, so the next step is to remove this gear cover over here, and it's just two body clips. There's just one right here, one right here. You're just gonna position them so that way you can actually grab onto them with some pliers and pull them out really easily. So alright, there's one. And then the one on the bottom is right there. And then this whole piece comes out, and this is all your gears. Now for your gears, there's a clip here to hold the spur gear in place. And so you just take your pliers, and you can get it up behind there, and then pull them off like that. Or you can also use a flathead screwdriver, and then that comes off. And it's also good to keep everything together. That way you don't lose it. And you're going to do that with all the parts really. After that is to remove these 4 screws right here. And you're first going to want to remove this plastic piece. And then you can go ahead and start removing these 4 screws. So anyways, next step following that is to remove this area over here, because it is going to be holding the clutch carrier in place. Okay, and just be mindful of this. Hold on. For this, on that last part, there's this little washer right here. The other 2 are small screws. And then you also want to remove this body clip. That holds this in place. Alright. Make sure not to lose that. And there's also this purple piece right here, the spacer. Mine's in there, but here, I'll show you. You can take it out. I just like to keep it in there though, so I know where it goes. Okay, so now I'm going to remove the 2 screws holding the clutch carrier in right here. And just so you note as well, there are these purple like spacers, I guess, that go into these holes, so be aware of that. And these 2 screws are the same size. And what you're going to notice is that you can't take this out because the clutch bell is getting stuck on this brake assembly holder right here. So you need to take out the 2 screws holding that in place. Now once that's removed, right, you can go ahead and remove that. And now your clutch carrier is right over here. And the way to remove that is to take an Allen wrench. Right, okay, and then you're gonna hold the clutch bell, and then you're just gonna take it off like that. All my bolts were pre-loosened, so because I already did this to find out that my bearing is messed up on the inside. So once you do that, you have the pinion gear off, and then there's your clutch bell, and then here is your clutch carrier, which can now be replaced. Now that the clutch carrier is out, you can replace it if you just have this in aluminum. Otherwise, you're going to have to remove this area over here, which I'll show you how, because this one comes with an integrated mount over here that goes in, whereas this one still just bolts up if you got this one in aluminum. Anyways, and the reason I'm replacing this is because what happened is the backside over here heated up, and that basically caused the bearing to flip-flop everywhere, destroying the bearing and everything. And that's basically the common problem for all of the plastic clutch carriers. And as you can see, this was the bearing in the front, so that one was over here. However, on the back side, let's try and show you. Okay, this is These are, this is my bearing for the backside because of what happened to it. So what happened was, now whenever I started my Baja or anything, it would make this tinging sound because this would be smacking against the clutch, the clutch bell over here. So like that. It's a really high pitched like tinging sound every time I started, and I noticed that this bearing was flopping around. So anyways, now the next step is to remove this other screw for the brake assembly, as well as this other bolt back here, and then you can go ahead and then put your enclosed clutch carrier on, which has the integrated mount in it. Alright, so now it's just to remove these 2 screws over here, as well as, you know, this back plate. But so this one is a fairly long screw, and also you're going to want to move this over and take out your brake assembly. This is, what is it, like the triple carbon brake setup or whatever, so yours might look a little different. Okay, and then you can reach this screw, which is like a short one, just like the other ones that were holding it in, and then this one you can sort of push it down. And then that's that. And now you gotta remove this, I believe it's the, what is it, tranny back plate or top plate, and that's just another 4 screws. I'll show you how. Okay, so basically the 4 screws you're going to want to remove that one right there, that one down there, show you, point to you right there, as well as that one and that one. Once you do that, you can actually move this plate around so that way you can fit this into there, because as of right now it's not going to fit in there just because of the simple geometry, you know. So now it is time to install the clutch carrier. And if you just have the regular one, you know, you would have already bolted it up a long time ago. Because we're putting the enclosed one in, it's more work. So first I blew out with compressed air all the clutch dust as well as dirt that was in there, so that way it doesn't cause any additional friction. Because this is an enclosed setup, whatever is in there right now is going to remain in there. So blew that out. I also cleaned this, so again, to remove any debris, and then I also cleaned this to remove clutch dust as well as debris. Okay, and now to install this, you're going to want to take this, the clutch bell, put it in there, and then this, you're going to tilt it like that for the install. Lift this plate up, because you have to get the clutch bell. Okay, see, now the clutch bell is on there, everything's sitting, and now you're going to get your pinion gear, which is over here, and I already have some blue thread lock on there, which you need because it's metal on metal rather than just the plastic. So then there's also a notch right here, so you have to make sure you line that up with the notch in there. Okay, so that's in. And then we're going to tighten that up later using the other gear. Nice. And now to install the other 3 screws, Team Gonads actually gives you the hardware for it. So there's 2 medium screws and then 1 small screw. The small screw is going to go in this upper left hand corner, and these 2 are going to go in the bottom 2 holes, and these ones you're going to be using the regular washers with, alright, the medium ones. And then for the small one you're going to be using the cut washer, which is like this one. Alright, and of course you're going to be using a little bit of blue thread lock, which is already in there, believe it or not. And so yeah, just use a blue thread lock like I did. And the reason you're using it is because it's metal on metal, and unlike plastic, which you can like screw it in and the plastic will actually hold it, so it's not really necessary. The metal, it's not going to grab onto it, so you need to be using some blue thread lock, especially when it's mounted right to the motor, which causes lots of vibration. So we have that, and then we're just going to install that. Okay, so once that's in, just make sure to check to see if this rotates smoothly. Otherwise, there could be something binding on the inside and you need to unbolt it and then take care of it right now, rather than putting back everything and then figuring it out later. Also, this screw is still kind of loose, so we're going to tighten that back up later when we have the spur gear on here and we can actually hold on to something to tighten it to. And then the rest of the install is really just reversing what you did to get to this step. And as long as you had the organization like I did, so I'll show you that right here. Most of my parts are organized and set aside together, so that way I know what screws go to which area, etc. So really keep everything organized, so that way when you go to put everything back together, it is fairly simple. And do that, and then I'll show you how to tighten in the pinion gear. Okay, so now basically to tighten your pinion gear, you're going to take a flathead screwdriver and stick it between the teeth. Okay, and then you're also going to put a piece of cloth on the ground to make sure the screwdriver doesn't slip. Then you're just going to start tightening it, and it's going to press up against the gears over here. And once you do that, this one's already been tightened, so it's not really going to go anywhere. But yeah, you're going to be able to tighten the gear over here. So now that's tightened, and that's how to do it. And now again, check. So yeah, this is good. No real binding issues or anything. Alright, so last step is probably just put the cover on, and that's it. And that is how you install an enclosed clutch carrier on a HPI Baja 5B. Right, and because the enclosed clutch carrier came with that extra mount, so this whole piece is going to be removed, so just in case.